All right, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Appreciate you tuning in. We are currently here in Russia over at Airport URML, and we're going to go ahead and get our covers off here, as well as the tie down, and the static, and the wheel lock, and we'll kind of run around here and we'll get the engine cover. All right, so we are ready to go there. What we're going to do is open up Beyond ATC now and get our procedure stuff going. So we have 2 passengers today that we're going to be heading on over to URMN. So we are currently in Russia and we will end in Russia. Okay, so Beyond ATC is loading. Oh, we got to do a quick update. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and take a look at NeoFly. So this is our mission here. We're going to take 2 passengers over to Nalchik, URMN. We currently have 26.6 million, and we have Hurricane and Snoop up in the air that they are going to be landing over at 3:16 a.m. for Hurricane and about a little after 2:30 for Snoop. So those are currently our 2 active pilots here, where they have a flight attendant, Anina, and Snoop has a co-pilot for Gucci, and Cleo is their flight attendant. And for us, we have Camille as our flight attendant and Mad Dog as our co-pilot. And then this is nav maps. This is going to be our flight plan here. We're taking SID BUKIN for our departure. And then we got a couple of waypoints. And then we have a star tariff for our landing procedure, which is going to loop around here and go there. So we should have some nice mountain views here along the way off to the left-hand side. And elevation is roughly, let's see, about 6,000. So should be pretty good. All right. Beyond ATC is doing their final load here after the quick update.
Beyond ATC connected.
Zulu, 0539 Zulu, surface wind 140 degrees, 6 meters per second. Visibility 10 kilometers or more, no significant cloud, temperature 27 degrees, dew point 14 degrees, QNH 1009, landing and departing runway 14, transition level 130, advise on initial contact you have information Zulu.
Alright, so we have information Zulu.
Uytash Airport information Zulu, 0539 Zulu, surface wind 140.
So we're going to turn to tower, request IFR clearance.
Makhachkala Tower, Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Cessna Citation Schwauer, with information Zulu, ramp 11. Request IFR clearance to Nalchik.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Makhachkala Tower, cleared to Nalchik via WT1 November departure. Runway 14, climb via SIT to flight level 140, squawk 1742.
Cleared to Nalchik via WT1 November departure. Runway 14, climb via SIT to flight level 140, squawk 1742. Cheyenne Air, November 11361.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Wilco, Cheyenne Air, November 11361.
Alright, I think we have enough room here that we don't need a pushback. But I guess we can do one. So we can request push and start.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361. At ramp 11. Request pushback.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Makhachkala Tower, pushback and engine start approved. Face southwest.
Pushback approved. Face southwest. Cheyenne Air, November 11361.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Alright, here comes the pushback. Alright, we're looking good. We'll probably go ahead and request a stop at this point. Alright, we're ready to taxi.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Request taxi to the active.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Taxi holding point runway 14 at pilot's discretion.
Taxi holding point runway 14. My discretion. Cheyenne Air, November 11361.
Alright, so there's no direct taxiway to the runway, so we're gonna go down here. Let's see if we need to hold short. No. Alright, so not a busy airport. We're going to go down the runway and then turn around.
Makhachkala Tower, orbit of 595, ILS Zulu approach runway 14.
Orbiter 595, Makhachkala Tower, wind 140 degrees, 6 meters per second, runway 14 clear to land.
Runway 14 cleared to land, orbit of 595.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Holding short, runway 14.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361, Makhachkala Tower, wind 140 degrees, 6 meters per second, runway 14, cleared for takeoff, traffic 7 mile final, no delay.
Runway 14, cleared for takeoff, no delay. Cheyenne Air, November 11361.
Bon voyage, aircrew. We hope to see you again soon.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361, reset transponder. Squawk 1742.
Squawk 1742. Cheyenne Air, November 11361.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361, contact Makhachkala departure 124.0.
Contact Makhachkala departure 124.0. Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Makhachkala, Cheyenne Air, November 11361. Passing 6,700 feet, climbing to flight level 140.
Cheyenne Air, November 11361, Makhachkala departure, identified, climb flight level 190.
Climb flight level 190. Cheyenne Air, November 11361.
Alright, we adjusted our heading, we adjusted our altitude. Everything's looking pretty smooth here as we fly over the Caspian Sea. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our flight plan here. So we're going to URMN.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Contact Rostov Control 122.3. Good day.
Center on 122.3. Cheyenne Air November 11361. Rostov Control, Cheyenne Air November 11361. Good morning. Passing flight level 175, climbing to flight level 190. Cheyenne Air November 11361. Rostov Control, good morning. Identified, climb flight level 400. Climb flight level 400. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Alright, so we're going up to 40,000 feet now. And we can go ahead and make our turn. So ML21 is our next one. And then we're going to be looking at ML22. And that is right. So we're making our turn over to there. We're going to reduce our speed. We're going to be looking at, let's see, runway number 24, which is sitting at 235 degrees. So we will adjust. That to 235. We can switch this back. Alright, so we are going there. So ML22 is 10 miles out. Finish our climb here.
Pobeda 6901, turn right, heading 345. Expect further clearance in about 71 miles. Turn right, heading 345, Pobeda 6901. Pobeda 6901, contact Nalchik approach 126.9er. Contact Nalchik approach 126.9 at Pobeda 6901. Rostov Control, Astanalin 126, good morning, passing flight level 192, climbing to flight level 370. Astanalin 126, Rostov Control, identified. Continue climb to flight level 370. Continue climb to flight level 370, Astanalin 126.
crossing over 29,000. We're getting there. Now we've got 10 miles to go to the next waypoint, which is Dookie. We got 5 miles to go, and then this should switch over to our next waypoint, which is going to be REMKA, so Remka. Crossing over 35, 5 to go.
Altitude.
6153. Leave Gusli heading 128, direct Vlakaini.
Leave Gusli heading 128, direct Vlakaini, azimuth on 6153.
Azimuth on 6153. Climb flight level 410.
Climb flight level 410, azimuth on 6153.
Azimuth on 6153. Descend flight level 200.
Descend flight level 200, azimuth on 6153.
Azimuth on 6153. Contact Tbilisi radar 127.1.
Contact Tbilisi radar 127.1, azimuth on 6153. Rostov control, azimuth on 4017, passing flight level 140, climbing to flight level 170, direct URMN.
Azimuth on 4017. Rostov control, identified. Climb flight level 340.
Climb flight level 340, azimuth on 4017.
Azimuth on 4066. Contact Octal radar 134.3. Good day.
Contact Octal radar 134.3, azimuth on 4066.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Report ready for descent. Wilco, Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Rostov Control, Arston 7819, good morning, flight level 360.
Ariston 7819, Rostov Control, identified. Pobeda 975, cleared OGV arrival, runway 02.
Cleared OG arrival, runway 02, Pobeda 975.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Descend to flight level 200. Expect runway 06. Descend to flight level 200. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
All right, so we got instructions to descend down to 20,000 feet, which we will do so. And then we got a runway change. So originally we had for star tariff 1F, which was runway number 24. So now we're switching it up here, so I'm not sure what our landing instructions are. So we'll have to figure that part out.
Pobeda 975. Report ready for descent.
Ready for descent, Pobeda 975.
Pobeda 975. Descend to 5,000 feet. QNH 1015.
Descent to 5,000 feet, QNH 1015, Pobeda 975.
based on 4017. Contact Octal Radar 134.3.
Contact Octal Radar 134.3, azimuth on 4017.
Air 880 Heavy. Contact Tbilisi Radar 127.1. Have a good morning.
Center on 127.1, Azure Air 880 Heavy.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
All right, going down to 10,000 now. All right, so runway number 6 is sitting at 55. degrees. So we're going to change that accordingly. There we go. Maybe switching to 115.6 for communication soon.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Descend to 6,000 feet. QNH 1009er.
Descend to 6,000 feet. QNH 1009er. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Rasia 6933. Cleared Lodak 1 Alpha arrival. Runway 08.
Cleared Lodak 1 Alpha, arrival runway 08, Russia 6933.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Contact Nalchik approach 126.9er.
Contact Nalchik approach 126.9er. Cheyenne Air November 11361. Nalchik, Cheyenne Air November 11361. Passing flight level 079er. Descending to 6,000 feet.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Nalchik approach, good morning. QNH 1009, expect the visual approach runway 06.
QNH1009er, expect the visual approach runway 06. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Altitude.
Alright, nice mountains off in the distance there. We should have nice clear weather to line up for runway number 06 for visual approach. Got a different airport there. Alright, so we have a flap malfunction here. So we're going to have to land with 0 degrees of flaps. So we're going to retract our landing gear. We got all 3 green on that, so that's good.
Cheyenne Air November 11361, turn right, heading 285.
Turn right, heading 285. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
All right, that's the airport directly ahead of us. They're expecting the rest of our descent any moment.
Cheyenne Air November 11361, turn left, heading 260.
Turn left, heading 260. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
At any moment we should be making a right-hand turn. Don't want to fly into the mountains.
Cheyenne Air November 11361, turn right, heading 345 vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 345, Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Cheyenne Air November 11361, turn right, heading 345, descend to 4,000 feet.
Turn right, heading 345, descend to 4,000 feet, Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Altitude.
Cheyenne Air November 11361, airport is at your 2 o'clock 9 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight, Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Cheyenne Air November 11361, cleared visual approach runway 06.
Cleared visual approach 06, Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Cheyenne Air November 11361, contact Nalchik Tower 118.3.
Contact Tower 118.3, Cheyenne Air November 11361. Nalchik Tower, Cheyenne Air November 11361, visual runway 06. Cheyenne Air November 11361, Nalchik Tower, wind 080 degrees, 4 meters per second, runway 06 cleared to land. Runway 06 cleared to land, Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Autopilot. Altitude.
All right, a little bit of a cross breeze right to left. Speeds at 158. We don't have any flaps, but we do have a little over 7,000 foot runway, so we should be okay. And once we flare up, we're going to reduce our speed a little bit.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Exit right next available taxiway.
Exit right next available taxiway. Cheyenne Air November 11361. Cheyenne Air November 11361. Request taxi to the ramp.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Welcome to Nalchik Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
Request ramp 13. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Cheyenne Air November 11361. Ramp 1 tree. Taxi at pilot's discretion.
Ramp 13 taxi at my discretion. Cheyenne Air November 11361.
Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and shut our engines down right after we hit that parking brake.
Transporter. Disembarking of passengers can begin.
Alright, NeoFly kicked in. Let's go ahead and see what our landing was. So minus 76, so another smooth landing there. Last one was 44. One before that, 182, 65, 108, 139. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too bad.
Transporter from dispatch. Disembarkation completed. Thank you. See you soon for another mission.
All right, so that completes that one. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.